we're actually going to be looking at his parents and how God told them they were going to have Samson, have this child. But Samson is a very interesting judge, because we look at him all the way from his birth, well, his conception, before he was even conceived, all the way to his death. So we have his whole life in front of us that we're going to be reading about, not all this morning, but throughout the next few weeks. So Judges chapter 13 we'll be looking at together. If you haven't, you can let me know. You can read it out loud if you want to. Anyways, let's read it together. Judges chapter 13, starting in verse 1. Said, and the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines for 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah. And his wife was barren, and bare not. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive, and bear a son. Now therefore, beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine, nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Then Manoah entreated the Lord, and said, O my Lord, let the man of God which thou didst send come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born. And God hearkened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again unto the woman, as she sat in the field. But Manoah her husband was not with her. And the woman made haste, and ran, and showed her husband, and said unto him, Behold, a man hath appeared unto me, that came unto me the other day. And Manoah arose, and went after his wife, and came to the man, and said unto him, Art thou the man that spakest unto the woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, Now let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child, and how shall we do unto him? And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee, until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Lord. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, What is thy name? And when thy sayings come to pass, we may do thee honor. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it is secret? So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering, and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord, and the angel did wondrously. And Manoah and his wife looked on. For it came to pass, when the flame went up towards heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended into the flame of the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it, and fell on their faces to the ground. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear unto Manoah and to his wife. And Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, We shall surely die, because we have seen God. But his wife said unto him, If the Lord were pleased to kill us, he would not have received a burnt offering and meat offering at our hands. Neither would he have showed us all these things, nor would as this time have told us such things as these. And the woman bare a son, and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol. I want us to look at this passage of Scripture this morning, this chapter of Scripture. It's amazing when you really think about it. Of all of the judges, Samson was the only one that we read of was called to be a judge before even his conception. I want you to see even the similarities between this angel of the Lord talking to Manoah and his wife, and then Gabriel coming and talking to Mary. There's so many similarities there. Now, Samson was no Jesus, that's for sure. But he was a picture of how God came and told about a deliverer. As Moses is a picture of the picture of the coming deliverer, Jesus Christ, and Samson was a picture as well of a deliverer of the people from their problems. So I want us to look at this morning. And the biggest thing that came to mind to me about this whole chapter of Scripture is in verse 8 and 12. In verse 8, it says, Then Manoah entreated the Lord and said, O my Lord, let the man of God which thou didst send come again to us and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born. And then in verse 12, Manoah asks the same thing. How shall we order the child, and how shall we do unto him? Basically, what his parents were asking of this prophet, of this angel of the Lord, was what? How are we supposed to raise this boy? What are we supposed to do? Okay? And I'm sure all of you who were the first time you were going to be parents and having a child, you probably asked these questions lots of times. Is that what you, Becky and Barb? This sermon may be for you guys. I titled my message this morning, How to Raise a Nazarite. How to Raise a Nazarite. Because Manoah and his wife, they had a task at hand. Not only to raise a child, which is a task in its own, but to raise a man who was going to be the judge of Israel and start the deliverance of Israel from the Philistines. A hard task to think about. So this morning I want us to look at this. How to raise a Nazarite. The first thing I want you to notice about how to raise a Nazarite is found in verse 13 through 14. It says this. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I command her, let her observe. I want us to notice this first thing about how to raise a Nazarite. And a Nazarite was, of course, someone who had separated their life for the work of the Lord. Did certain things that we're going to go over a little bit later on. How to keep away from drinking wine. How to keep away from even eating grapes. Had an association with wine. Didn't eat of anything unclean. And Samson, of course, couldn't even cut his hair. Okay? They were set apart. They were seen as the person that was set apart for the work of the Lord. Okay? But I want you to see this. How to raise this Nazarite. What did this angel tell them to do? First of all, how to raise a Nazarite is keep the prophecy of his prenatal care. Okay? Keep the prophecy of his prenatal care. And all you women who have had children before, there's something to it with prenatal care, right? Got to make sure the baby's okay within you. Got to eat the right things. And, of course, you're not supposed to drink. We know that to be terrible. And that's, of course, one of the things about being a Nazarite. I don't believe in drinking at any time. But especially if a woman's pregnant, she's not supposed to do so. Okay? But I want you to see this, because this prenatal care, this prophecy of this prenatal care, was very important on how to raise the child. Why was it important? The first thing I want you to look at again is in verse 13 through 14. They need to keep the prophecy of the prenatal care. Verse 13 and 14. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman, that's his wife, let her beware. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I command her, let her observe. I want you to notice this. How to raise a Nazarite. Manoah and his wife both asked the angel of the Lord, what should we do with this child? How are we going to take care of this child? They told him how to have this prenatal care for this child before it was even born. First thing I want you to notice about this is the mother must beware of her vow. The mother must beware of her vow. How to raise a Nazarite? Keep the prophecy of his prenatal care. The mother must beware of her vow. All you who are mothers, when you conceive of a child, you take that vow to take care of that baby. That baby's life is even more important than your own. That's what this angel of the Lord was even telling Manoah's wife here. That she needed to keep this prophecy of the prenatal care. She needed to beware of this vow that she was supposed to take. Keep it in her heart. Beware of it. Follow it to the T. I want you to notice this, because this is very important, not only with raising a Nazarite, but any mother who's going to raise a child. If you want your child to grow up and to be big and strong for the Lord, what do you need to do? Vow that you're going to take care of this child, not only when it's born, but before it's born. Because that child's life is important, not only to you, but it's important to God. You should do everything that you can to take care of that little baby. And that's what Manoah's wife was told here. How to raise this Nazarite? Keep the prophecy of prenatal care. The mother must beware of her vow. If you're going to bring a child into this world, you got to do it right, and you got to do it by God. Secondly, if you want your child to be set apart for